I love how this vision of John reverberates across to our time also, in drawing his lines and in the power of the images. He calls us still to make decisions on which side we stand in relation to those lines, and there is an urgency to all these calls and a seriousness to these choices. John is giving us a gift to see more clearly the world that we are in. Not because he is speaking directly to this time that I'm alive in, but because this is an authentic voice speaking of what life being lived between the cross and new creation looks like, what it feels like. John gives me tools to understand how to live better and more clearly in the world in which I live. And on a first reading of these verses in chapter 13, this image of the second beast coming out of the earth, it would be easy to let the images escape us and get caught in the CGI wonder of it all. But this word of John has again caught me in its immediacy of meaning, what it means now for me. You may be watching the series on BBC at the moment called The Capture, and it is brilliantly tense. It revolves around a project within the Secret Services called Correction, and it works through all these sort of high-tech surveillance techniques, facial recognition, manipulation, CCTV in the streets and the buildings, and hacking these to misdirect what is seen in real life towards a different reality, a different story that is being created online through the manipulation of images in real time. And it is brilliant, intense, and in all honesty probably terrifying glimpse of what could be. I don't know enough to know if this is close to possible now, but when you look at the camera coverage and the facial recognition tools available to the Chinese in their re-educating of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, you do see the prospect coming close. And what you see in play through the series is misdirection, a malignant, manipulating force which constructs a story very different from real life and then enforces it by whatever means possible. And it is eye-opening towards possibilities that are hinted at in other ways, where we see political manipulations taking place, whether that is here or in the States or in Russia. The world feels alive to manipulation and misdirection just now. And this second beast of the land is just such misdirection, manipulation. For John, it is all the ways in which his world is built to support and enable and force the social worship of the power of the land, the Emperor of Rome. What he's doing here again is drawing more lines. This second beast misdirects worship, commitment, life away from God and directs it towards the first beast that came out of the sea. It is all the ways in which a worship of what is not God becomes normalized or becomes enforced. This second beast is about deception and manipulating the world that is around us to misdirect people to worship that which is less than God. And I can feel the power for that just now. And I'm going to let it rest, sit, see what comes towards Sunday.